May isang presidente na hindi na pwedeng tumakbo ulit sa 2028. Pero ngayon, malinaw niyang sinabi, mag-iendorso siya ng susunod na presidential candidate. Hindi pa raw niya alam kung sino. Meanwhile, may isang vice president na hindi na nagtatago ng kanyang plano. Sinabi na niya, 2028, tatakbo ko. Pero habang papalapit ang laban, may impeachment trial, may accusations, may prosecution, may defense, at maaring ang resulta nito ang magdesisyon kung makakatakbo pa ba siya. So ito ang malaking tanong, ha? Normal succession planning lang ba ang ginawa ng administrasyon o nagsimula na talaga ang political battle for 2028 habang mahigit isang taon pa bago ang formal campaign? At may isang malaking difference sa dalawang kampo na gusto kong pag-usapan mamamaya. Yung isa, nagsabi na kung sino o ano ang plano niya. Yung isa, mag-i-endorso raw pero hindi pa alam kung sino. Interesting, di ba? Okay. Ang sinabi ni Marcos, mga kawok, ito ang verified fact. Ngayong August 14, sinabi ni President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. na mag-iendorso siya ng presidential candidate sa 2028. Pero sinabi rin niya na hindi pa siya nakapagdesisyon kung sino. At actually, may logic naman iyon 2026 pa lang, maraming pwedeng mangyari. Maraming pangalan ng maaaring lumabas. May elections, alliances, surveys, economic performance, political scandals, at iba pang developments bago tayo makarating sa feeling ng candidates. Marcos himself essentially said that he first wants to see how the political landscape develops. Fair enough. Pero para sa akin, may mas malaking issue rito. Bakit ngayon kailangang ipahayag na siguradong mag-i-endorso siya? Hindi naman required ang presidente na mag-announce ng ganito kaaga. At kapag incumbent president ang nagsabing may susuportahan akong successor, hindi simpleng endorsement iyon, May political machinery, may influence, may allies, may local officials, may administration coalition, may access sa national stage. That matters. At dito nagsisimula ang criticism ko kay President Marcos. Under our Constitution kasi, ang presidente ay may isang 6-year term at hindi eligible for re-election. Meaning, come 2028, matatapos ang mandato niya. The Filipino people, not the outgoing president, choose the next president. Of course, Marcos has every political right to endorse someone. Walang masama doon by itself. Pero ang gusto kong bantayan ay ito, wag nating gawing sa succession project ang presidency. Ang pinakamahalagang trabaho ngayon ng presidente ay hindi kung sino ang papalit sa kanya. Ang trabaho niya ay economy, jobs, prices, infrastructures, education, corruption, national security, public services, governance. 2026 pa lang. So kung ang conversation ay nagsisimula ng umikot sa who will Marcos choose, may responses, sandali, hindi naman presidente ang pumipili ng successor, botante. No? And now, compare that with Vice President Sara Duterte. Noong February 18, she publicly declared that she intends to seek the presidency in 2028. Whether you like Sara or not, at least politically, malinaw ang posisyon niya. Hindi. Maybe. Hindi. Tinitignan natin? Hindi. May endorso akong somebody. She put herself out there. And by doing that, she also accepted the political consequences. Kapag nagdeklara ka ng maaga, you become a target. Every mistake gets examined. Every controversy gets amplified. Every public statement matters. And Sarah herself acknowledged that politicians usually avoid announcing too early because it makes them vulnerable to attack. That takes us directly to the impeachment, Mga kabok, Ito ang kailangan nating ulit-ulitin. Ha? Ah, okay? Impeachment is not conviction. Vice President Sara is currently facing a Senate impeachment trial, no? The accusations include alleged misuse of public funds, unexplained wealth, bribery or corruption-related allegations, and threats involving President Marcos and others. She denies wrongdoing. So wag nating gawin ang ginagawa ng social media na may accusation, guilty na agad. Hindi ha, may prosecution, may defense, may evidence, may cross-examination, may senator judges, at ultimately, may verdict. The Constitution and the Senate process exist for a reason. At para makonvict, kailangan ng at least 16 votes out of 24 senators. So politically, yes. Malaking threat ito sa 2028 ambitions ni Sara, ha? Pero legally, the case still has to be proven. And this is where President Marcos has an optics problem. Let me be precise. Wala akong ebidensya na si Marcos ang nagdidikta sa Senate impeachment court. Ang Marcos himself says the impeachment is a matter for legislative branch. So hindi tayo gagawa ng conspiracy claim. Pero political optics ha, ibang usapan iyon. Think about this. Your vice president, your former running mate, your present political rival has already declared for 2028. At habang nasa impeachment trial siya, the incumbent president publicly confirms, yes, I will endorse somebody in 2028. That naturally raises questions, not accusations, ha? Oh, ngayon ang tanong, who benefits politically if Sara is removed from the race? Who becomes the administration candidate? What happens to the Marcos coalition? Who inherits the administration machinery? Those are legitimate political questions, but questions are not proof of coordination. Important distinction. Marcos also has framed his eventual preference around continuing his administration's reforms, including anti-corruption efforts. That theme has become increasingly prominent in his recent public messaging. And my response is, good, then show measurable results. Don't make anti-corruption merely a campaign label for whoever becomes the administration candidate. If corruption is the standard, then investigate allies and opponents equally. If accountability is the standard, apply it regardless of surname. If transparency is the standard, then publish results, prosecutions, recoveries, administrative reforms, and measurable institutional changes. Because voters deserve more than slogans. Anti-corruption should be a governance record, not a succession branding strategy. That is where Marcos will have to prove his case before 2028. And ironically, the impeachment could create a political problem for Sara or it could strengthen her. Reuters quoted a public administration professor saying that if people perceive the process is fair, an acquittal could strengthen her position. If the process is viewed as politically motivated or lacking credibility, questions could persist regardless of the outcome. That makes sense because Sarah's political future now depends on two battles. Legal battle, can the prosecution prove the allegation? And political battle, do viewers believe the process was fair? That second question may become just as important as the first. Now, dahil favorable ang analysis natin sa due process position ng Vice President, hindi ibig sabihin bibigyan natin siya ng free pass. No, Sara Duterte still has to answer serious questions, confidential funds, COA findings, finding transactions, statements cited in the impeachment complaint, government record, all of the deserves scrutiny. Kung gusto niyang maging presidente, then the standard should become higher, not lower. That's the price of seeking the highest office in the country. So my defense of Sara Duterte today is not believing everything Sara says. My position is prove the case against her. Because removing someone from office and potentially from future public service cannot be based on political dislike. It has to rest on evidence and constitutional process. Which takes me back to President Marcos, Sir President, you will eventually endorse someone, fine. but there's still roughly 2 years left in your presidency. And your strongest endorsement will not be a press conference. It won't be a slogan. It won't be a political coalition. Your strongest endorsement will be your record. If Filipinos feel economically better by 2028, that matters. If corruption declines, that matters. If wages improve, that matters. If infrastructure works, that matters. If government services improve, that matters. If citizens trust institutions, that matters. Because ultimately, any Marcos-backed candidate will be asked, why should we continue this administration? And the answer cannot simply be, because Marcos endorsed me. Ha? Okay, mga kawak, kung gusto niyo ng political commentary na may distinction between verified facts, allegations, analysis at opinion, subscribe sa hashtag #WalkWithLan. Dito, hindi natin kailangan gumawa ng fake scandal para maging interesting ang politika. Sometimes, the timing itself tells you what questions to ask. Ang hatol nila na President Marcos has every right to endorse a candidate in 2028, but no president should behave as tough the succession belongs to him. It belongs to the voters. And VP Sara Duterte, she has already put her political future on the table. She wants 2028, but first, she must survive the impeachment trial, not through slogans, not through popularity, but through due process and evidences. And the prosecution must prove its allegations. Until then, Sara Duterte is an accused official defending herself in an ongoing constitutional proceeding, not a convicted official. So if Marcos wants to choose his candidate, go ahead. But ultimately, BBM does not choose the next president. Neither does Congress. Neither does the Senate. The Filipino people do, mga kawok. If the election were held based only on what we know today, does the Marcos endorsement help a candidate or could it actually help Sara Duterte more? Comment down below. Respectful decision lang tayo ha. Ito ang hashtag #WalkWithLan. Facts first, analysis next. Hanggang sa muli!